to It Matters. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's 10:42, 7 degrees. You know, I have a local friend here that lives in St. Cloud now, too, just like I do, but we're both from Princeton. Her name is Wendy Hendricks, and she's joining me today after I saw some things that she was doing around Christmas, some neat videos for some local businesses. I was on vacation, and I didn't get to do it before then, but we have spoken since then, and I asked her if she would come on the show today because she's very much about supporting local businesses, and so are we here at Town Square Media. So it's awesome because she not only came here alone, she also brought Rick Anderson with her. So they're both here with us, both business owners here in town. Thank you both for being here.
Great to be here.
Thank you for having us. It's great to be in studio.
Live. This is amazing, right? So if you go to WJON.com, you'll see that I did write a story about the purpose of what they're doing right now. Wendy, back when COVID kind of came into town, came everywhere. As local business owners, it's really devastating, right? And we don't even want to talk about it. I know we were all so tired of talking about it, but it seemed like it kind of changed the world. Everybody threw everything up in the air, and all of a sudden, they're all shopping on Amazon. Mm-hmm. And that's the scary thing, right? It's so easy, but people don't realize what it is doing to their local communities. They have no idea if they're not a business owner, right? And so you are a big proponent of local, help your local businesses. It's their dreams. Tell me a little bit about how you decided to jump in there, get back on your feet, and help and support locally.
Well, I've had a passion about local business for years. I worked with Business Central Magazine for 19 years as the associate publisher. So B2B is my thing. Mm-hmm. And when COVID first hit, I'm also in commercial real estate at Agency North, real estate in Sartell. And my business completely crashed.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of like, I met with Rick and I was paralyzed in fear at first.
Yeah.
And then I thought, what can I do? So we went into action and I did that Love is Contagious video about just encouraging people to not stop. You know, I said, stop stopping. And how can we do business in a different way?
Stop stopping. That's brilliant. Really, stop stopping.
Because everyone just stopped. And it's like, we have to stop stopping.
Yeah.
So when I did a downtown video with these balloons, and I was just randomly going downtown, and Rick happened to call me. He's like, we're coming down. And then they did this amazing video that, went viral. But all I did is put red heart balloons on these businesses. And it was so meaningful because what can you do?
Yeah.
What can you do?
What can you do?
So we've just evolved now over the past few years, and I've been highlighting businesses that have grown and survived and changed and evolved. And it's so inspiring, and I think that's what local businesses need to see. There's so much doom and gloom out there, and it's like, so we are just showing positive stories, and I think it inspires other businesses on just kind of relooking how can we do business in a different way.
And a lot of these videos that you guys have done, Rick, Wendy, together, I've got on the story so people can go watch them if they haven't seen them yet. Because you're absolutely right. It's people start going, oh, well, it's so easy to just order these things and have it shipped to my house. I didn't really realize it might be hurting my neighbor down the street who's actually right here in the community supporting, doing everything they can to be a great local business. Rick, you've been a local business owner too before doing the video as well, right? Can you tell us a little bit about your history?
Well, actually, Wendy and I met, I think our first introduction, we started working, our first business we started in the video side was Visual Media, which specializes in real estate.
Sure.
And then we also started Anderson Hughes, which is more B2B and commercials and things like that. Mm-hmm. But before that, I was actually in radio. And before or after that, I had a fundraising company. We worked with schools. So coincidentally, my building that we ended up selling, the name of that was the Chip Shop, and we sold it to Amazon. Actually, Amazon is renting it, but we sold it to someone, and lo and behold, Amazon went in the building. And nothing against Amazon,
but it's like, oh my gosh, it's so big.
So,
and I helped him sell it.
Yeah, she was our agent, which was great. But the thing is that same time that Wendy, we started doing some of these videos about, stopping and, the downtown video and stuff. I was going through the same thing. I had this building sitting empty that was costing me an arm and a leg every month. And I'm like, what's going to happen? So Wendy got us through that. We got it sold, which was nice. But we started doing these videos, and Wendy's a great idea person, would call me, hey, what do you think about this? And I really, you hear it. I hear the commercials on the radio here.
Yeah.
You guys do a great job with that about, shop local and support. And it really, really people don't realize the impact that it makes. My business now, especially, would not be there if people didn't shop local, because I'm not doing, we do some corporate video for a bit larger brands, but for the most part, most of our video is done with local businesses and things like that. So it's important. The trickle down effect of that is really important. And that's where we did in our first video. And, I kid with Wendy now, I'm really kind of done talking about COVID because I'm tired.
I know,
but it's a reality. It's still out there.
Yeah.
But the thing was our first video, we decided to do that in we turned everything gray except for the balloons, which were red. So we keyed those balloons in at red, and just to kind of just give the message of hope and whatnot. And actually,
gives me chills.
Yeah,
it's a great idea.
My first COVID video was we did a video, and this was not for Wendy, but we did a video for a knockoff of my Sharona, and it was my Corona virus, and we did it, and it's that was my first one with the COVID stuff, but now we've graduated.
Graduated.
But really, it's all about helping local businesses and helping them. And I think one of the things that Wendy really has emphasized, and the business owners that we've stopped in and talked to, is just things are different now. Doesn't mean it has to be bad.
Right.
They're
finding ways
now.
around and changing it. So many people, everybody I know everywhere that even works in a business, whether they owned it or their employees, everybody had to go, okay, we can't just stop. What are we going to do to make everything work? And hopefully there are businesses out there, if they're still worried about it and they've stopped, and we don't want them to stop, we don't want them to do that. Maybe these videos that you're putting together will help them think of ideas, because aren't you interviewing a lot of business owners that have kind of turned a page and gone, okay, we put our heads together and we came up with some ideas?
I've purposely been asking business owners how they've survived the past few years, and we've been highlighting businesses that have grown and survived and changed the way they do business. And I'm an entrepreneur. I've always been passionate about entrepreneurism and helping support other entrepreneurs, and now is a wonderful time for entrepreneurs. So I think from this time we're seeing a lot of entrepreneurs step forward. Maybe their their company closed or they lost their job, and they're like, what do you have to lose? Start a business. So I just have a deep passion for it, which is why I love what I do in commercial real estate, because I get to work with those people every day.
It's fun, huh? What is some, Rick, together, I guess, both of you, is there a favorite business that you want? Wow, I'm so glad that we stopped by this location, because this is going to change a lot of people's minds if they watch this video.
Well, I think some of the businesses personally that have been favorites to me, I love the businesses that are kind of what I would call new pioneering businesses that just are something new and different. We have some great examples of little boutique shops here in town. White Peony, Copper Pony.
Just Mackenzie's and Sartell.
Yeah, just businesses that are just taking a step forward and just saying, "What the heck? We're gonna try this." And when you talking to some of these business owners, they're flourishing, and it's because they're not afraid to take the risk, and that's the thing that I would emphasize to anyone is that, you're going to, you hear it all the time. People say, you're going to fail more than, but it really is true. You have to go out there, and you have to, being a business owner is tough. It's tough.
You got to learn. You got to take the shots and keep getting back up again, right?
Yeah, and people don't understand as a business owner. Sometimes you get all these bad knocks of taking all the profits and all that. But boy, you put a lot of risk out there.
Yeah.
And every day, you're covering payroll and you're covering, so that's basically kind of in a nutshell why we're doing it. And We really want to cover local businesses, people that have unique products and things in the future too. So
it's kind of like our Made in Minnesota feature that we have every year, the Made in Minnesota event. It's a wonderful way in November for everybody to come out and go, oh my gosh, we got a Minnesota business here that we didn't even know existed. Some really neat products they're really creative, things that you've never really thought of before.
And that's a perfect example, like from a video production company. I would love to do it. We should do a story on that next time, because it's seeing those unique products are just awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
One business we interviewed that really stuck out to me was Hourglass Cleaners downtown.
Yeah.
So I was picking up my dry cleaning. I've been going there for years, and I said, "Well, how have you been affected?" And the owner had just purchased the business right before COVID started.
Really?
Her business went down 80%.
Right after she got
was
it.
the only person working there, but she started doing delivery and laundry service. And wonderful. Now,
Wow.
so those are the stories I love to
Yeah.
hear. Another business, Copper Pony, they launched an online store, and their sales went up dramatically from that. And now, of course, they have their beautiful new location downtown
Yes.
Sauk Rapids.
Isn't it pretty?
So it's so inspiring to see how people have taken their businesses and evolved, and that's what we're trying. And through that, it helped me because I personally too was going through a rough time.
Yeah.
And I think when you help and showcase others, it also keeps you going and motivated. And I always believe, the saying, all ships rise together. I think when we all support each other, that's what our community needs. And I don't like seeing these businesses close.
No, I don't either. You've been a part of the chamber too for I don't know how
20
many 20
some
years.
years.
It's crazy. And I always talk about this on my show a lot because I'm in the music community, and so I recognize that part here is that. In the music community, anyway, they are very accepting of other musicians, and a lot of them work together. They do shows together. They'll duets together. They'll plan things. They did all kinds of things for like Centric Care and everything, just donating their time for nonprofit organizations, especially through this time. But that isn't just a music community here. Do you think that Central Minnesota, I do, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like we have this special place here where people do that, whether it's business or whether it's music or whatever, that people will come together like that.
Oh, definitely. I mean, in my 20 years with the Chamber and the magazine, I've met most of my friends through the Chamber because it's not about business, it's personal. And here we're a community, and we see people rally behind businesses and really support and encourage other businesses with a lot of these fundraisers. And, so that's why I love to live and work here.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions here. For a person that's not a business owner, for somebody that goes, well, I just hate getting out in the cold. And yes, Wendy, you're right. I do shop on Amazon sometimes. What would you say to them to encourage them to say, you know what, make them really think like this may be a better idea for you here in your own community?
I think for me, local business, you are supporting someone's dream. And when you go there, like I said to you, it's like owning a business. It's like your child.
Yeah.
And when we visit these businesses, one of them, he was tearing up, because it's been tough. And then for someone to come and care. And the owner themselves are the ones that are checking you out and serving you. And
yeah.
It's so meaningful. And it stays in our community.
Yeah.
And so if we want a thriving, surviving community, we need to get out and shop local. And many of them are doing curbside delivery. Many of them you can order online.
Yeah.
So restaurants and other stores have started doing curbside delivery, which I think is here to stay.
I think so, too.
So that's great. You don't have to get out of your car.
Yeah, you can still do that. Rick, do you want to add to that? As a business owner yourself?
Well, I think that, and oftentimes you go, okay, what are the local businesses? Who are the local businesses? And sometimes people don't understand. Even a local franchise, a franchise owner still lives in the community. So
Sure.
This is not a knock against a restaurant or someone that, it's, where do the local dollars go? And a lot of them, when they're, even a local franchise owner is making money through that and investing in the community. So we don't want to just say every local business, but I would say a lot of times you just find so many more unique items that and when online shopping first started coming, I'm a little old school. I do buy some things obviously from Amazon here and there, but I try to not buy as much as possible. But I'm like, I like to go try things on. I like to see how it looks. I like to see how it feels, and so you miss that and when you just shop online. So there's a place for it, and I'm not naive enough to think. I remember back when I was in radio, I used to hear, it was all at that time only about downtown because, downtown was at that time kind of the suffering community, which I think in many cases it still is. But it was mostly about support downtown and it's local. But and at that time it was just box stores coming to town, right?
Right.
Now they're online and they're everywhere. And it's just really created a whole nother level where it's affecting not only the guys downtown, but it's also affecting everyone else in the community. And
no matter where they're at.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, so we've got about 4 minutes left here, but I know, are you guys going to continue to work on the videos and talk with businesses, and we're not out of the water yet, I guess, so to speak, but still seek out to encourage people?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We've only just begun, as I told you.
Just starting.
Once we tapped, I didn't expect for this to continue on. You know, I just did a heartfelt video when COVID first hit, and it just kind of has evolved from there.
Yeah.
But from that, you know, I just see what a need there is.
Yeah.
And, you know, at first there was talk about the V curve, you know, and then it's the K curve, which is more like I see. It's businesses are either really flourishing or they're closing, going bankrupt.
One or the other.
There's almost no in between. So at some point that has to settle in and kind of get back to a more normalcy.
Yeah.
And that's what we realize is there's just so many we would like to feature, and we want to just inspire and give people hope to keep pushing on.
Yeah.
Because when you're an entrepreneur, you know, giving up on your dream or maybe going back to a corporate job. Actually, I talked to my business consultant when things were really struggling, and he's like, "You're not going to be happy." He's like, "You're an entrepreneur.
You are who you are. You don't change that."
And so I face those questions myself.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we really want to support these entrepreneurs and businesses to keep going.
Yeah.
I would say let's have people make suggestions. Who are some? They can call into the show, or they can let you know, and maybe
we'll pass the word on to you.
Gather some names of businesses that people, because it's not just retail shops. It's small businesses that are manufacturing. We do a lot of videos with manufacturing companies and things like that. So, let's highlight some of those and give us some suggestions, and we can
That'd
come
be
out and
great.
do a kind of a business profile kind of thing, and how you're moving ahead in 2022 now, actually, right?
It's hard to say that. It's like, wow. Well, I really appreciate you both being in here. And hopefully, Wendy, Rick, we'll try to get something going here. We can talk about this on an ongoing basis. As I reach out to my audience all the time saying, what do you guys want to learn about? Local business is one of those things that they've come up with. So,
and I am so inspired by businesses who have opened during this time.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to feature more of them. So, because if you can open your business in a global pandemic,
hats off to you.
You got it.
You got it. Wendy, Rick, thank you both for being here.
It was a pleasure.
If you want to see a lot of the videos that they've put together, I mean, you're going to be really inspired by this, especially if you are an entrepreneur, or if you're somebody who just says, I work for a business. I'd like to kind of see the other side and see their perspective on how I can help them, because it's also going to help me. You're going to really enjoy that story. It's at WJON.com.